Hi guys, I'm coming to you with some LGBTQ plus reading recommendations. The video is split up into two parts because although I've watched a lot of videos and read a lot of recommendations for what to read concerning this topic, I haven't actually gotten around to reading very many of them yet. I've only read about 6 or so I'll tell you guys those first, and then I'll also tell you some of the very interesting ones I have on my TBR. The first book I want to tell you guys about is More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. This was an interesting book because it's part contemporary and also has some sci-fi elements to it. Although, if you don't really like sci-fi, don't worry about it. It only comes in really towards the end, and it's not like gods and monsters or anything like that. It's more subtle. But the first half is contemporary. The sad thing is the first half also doesn't really have a lot about LGBTQ+. It's mainly just about the main character and the group of friends he hangs out with and how they sort of get along and stuff, and this new boy that he meets in the neighborhood. And it gets more into the homosexual stuff the second half, but it's still not very much. And this was in the Outcrate box for diversity, but I feel like there are better picks, but the box doesn't, like the book had to come out within 45 days of sending out the Outcrate box. The ending, I gotta tell you, is pretty shocking, and I wasn't expecting it, and it's sad, so I don't know if you want to put yourself through that. The next book I want to talk about is The Miseducation of Cameron Post. This is probably one of the books that I enjoyed the most, just because I love the setting. It's sort of like a summer camp only during the school year, because she was in a short relationship with a popular girl from her high school, and they were found out, and the girl that she was in a relationship with told Cameron, that's the main character, told the people concerning their relationship that Cameron sort of forced herself upon her. And that it really hurt me, because it seemed like that they really liked each other. But Cameron was sent off to sort of this conversion camp, but it's for the whole school year, and it has homosexual and kids from other sexualities of all different ages, and they sort of do their own independent study in each school subject, but they're sort of all thrown together, and she makes some friends, but it's mainly just her sitting around with her friends and sometimes smoking weed. I don't feel like there was enough conclusion in the book between the two girls, because Cameron doesn't ever talk to her ex-girlfriend after she's sent away, really. She sees her when she comes back to town for like Christmas at church, but they don't end up talking things over or anything. Next I have Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. And I don't really have too much to say about this one because it was kind of forgettable, I have to tell you. But it's kind of more of that kind of cute book, and nothing bad really happens at all. And the main character, he is gay, and you know that from the very beginning. And he's messaging with this boy who's nicknamed Blue, and they kind of have a little romance going on. But you don't know if anything in real life is going to happen between them until towards the very end. And he's kind of suspicious about other boys at school because he knows Blue goes to his school, but he's not sure if like this other boy that talks to him is this Blue character or not. Of course, all of you guys have probably heard about Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. This is the book that I have heard about the most, I feel, and I'm not sure if it lived up to the hype. Just all of these books, or most of these books, either like LGBTQ plus themes were in it, but they weren't the main focus, or maybe the main character was gay, but like their relationship was just starting out, or they have relationships, but it's not centered around the relationships. And I just can't find a perfect match for me. But anyway, Aristotle and Dante, they meet, I think, poolside during the summer, and they have sort of between best friends and a romance, like a bromance, for a couple years. And one of them tells the other one that he has a crush on him, but nothing really happens. And then either later that year or in another year, things start to spark between them more. Ask of the Passengers is one of the books where the girl has relationships, or a relationship I should say, but it's not the main focus of the book. She is sort of, I think they're girlfriends, but it's sort of more like the fooling around sense at work. Like they go into the freezer sometimes on break and that sort of stuff. And she just gets in some trouble, like she goes to a gay bar with her friends. And it's kind of odd because her two closest friends are gay and she doesn't tell them that she's gay. They think she's straight. So that's part of the story, like a trusted kind of thing. But also because the girl she's dating is more popular in her school because they go to different schools. And she's on the hockey team. And she, after the trouble happens, her parents tell her she shouldn't really be hanging out with her girlfriend. Fangirl is a book with LGBTQ plus themes. But of course that's not the center of it because it's about Kath and her time at college and her dealings with Nick and Lev. But I just had to mention Simon and Baz because they are the two main characters of a Harry Potter homage fan fiction that she's writing. And actually, many of you will know that Rainbow Rowell, the author, just came out last week with a book called Carry On that has these characters and the settings and everything from Kath's fan fiction, although it's not written like Kath is the author. Next, I have two graphic novel comic type things for this recommendation video, and the first one is Fun Home by Alison Bechdel. Most of you will know her more as the person who created the Bechdel test for movies. This graphic novel of hers is sort of autobiographical because she discusses her relationship with her father. It shows some of her childhood and how he was a funeral director, but then it doesn't skip back and forth, but it's just like slowly progressing to when she was a young adult, and she comes out as a lesbian, and soon after she finds out that her father was in fact gay. And he didn't come out with that, or I can't remember if he did, she might have just found out. But it was a secret that was released only a few weeks before his death. So she had many questions about that went unanswered. The last LGBTQ plus related reading material that I read this year so far is Batgirl, the series. And although I haven't gotten to where they said, like, if she has a romance or if they just, like, reveal her being a lesbian Barbara Gordon, I haven't got there yet. But overall, just as a superhero series, especially with a very strong female heroine, it is excellent. The first recommendation from my TBR for LGBTQ plus literature is actually a play, I think, or it might just be an older book, and it's called M. Butterfly. This is based off of a true story about Rain Gallimard when he was held captive, and it's sort of about his 20 or so year affair with this Chinese woman who actually is a man. He's a man, I don't know if he was transgender, but he was disguised as a woman, so it kind of relates. I hope that the Chinese spy was in fact transgender, and I just think it's very exciting because it's historical fiction or not fiction, it's historical and based off of a true story. For me, it's been kind of hit and miss with young adult LGBT fiction, but I'm gonna try again with Beauty of the Broken. It sounds like something that is about people from the town that I live in, because I believe the girls live in a small rural town, because it said that the town's full of bigotry. She's afraid of caring for another girl, the description said, because of her father's violence. romance. For this next one, I feel like the movie is much more known than the book, and that is Blue is the Warmest Color. Earlier in the summer, I did view this movie, and I had mixed feelings about it. I love the rawness of it, okay? I really enjoy that. But I'll warn you a spoiler, I'll give you like 5 seconds to skip forward like 20 seconds. I just can't believe the relationship ended because of cheating. I mean, I understand that it's so stereotypical for all the LGBTQ plus relationships in movies, TV, and literature to end because of people like at school or in the workplace, etc., bullying, or because of family issues and things like that. But cheating. I've already mentioned Carry On to you guys, and I actually pre-ordered that, so I'll be doing a haul soon, and that's going to be one of the books that's in my haul, so be looking forward to that. This next one has been on my TBR for like a year. It's called The Art of Being Normal. It's about two boys. One of the boys, some people at school think he's like gay, and you know those stereotypes, probably because of the way he acts, like how they say in the girlish way and things. But he wants to be a girl. I rarely read autobiographies, but this one I'm really excited about. That book is Redefining Realness. It is the story of Janet Mock, a transgender, I want to say transgender woman, but I'm never sure if that means that they're transitioning into woman or half transitioned, or if they're transitioning to another gender. But it's just about her becoming or being a woman and her identity and all sorts of nice topics. Like If You Could Be Mine is a story about two girls who fall in love during a worldly conflict. It's the debut model for an Iranian female author, and I think that is very great, and I really hope I like it. I'm really looking forward to the worldly aspect of it taking place in another country, and what sort of things they deal with because of their custom and culture. Luna is one that I believe won an award. I think someone said it's not told from the transgender Luna's point of view. It's told from like a relative's point of view. But I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but that would be very interesting to like see their perspective on watching someone else transition. The novel seemed like it was mainly about acceptance and seeing if everyone will accept Luna or reject the person that she's becoming. Last but not least, Annie on my mind. I have heard from some that this is sort of like a classic lesbian novel, so I'm very excited to see if I like it as much as some other people have. And it also sounded great because it's not like they diddle-daddle around and don't say that they like each other and all of that stuff that I've read previously. They're in a relationship, and it's about the problems they have in a relationship. Please tell me in the comments below if you have any more LGBTQ plus recommendations. Thank you, and have a good day.